The no-deal Brexit is in the room. The economy threatens chaos. In the worst-case scenario, the EU Commission wants to protect cross-border traffic from collapse. What's the possible scenario? Great Britain leaves the EU internal market without a trade agreement. Then there's a threat of economic chaos between the EU and the United Kingdom. The EU Commission wants to mitigate the damage with emergency laws. Air and road traffic in particular should be protected. Great Britain is leaving the EU internal market and the customs union for good at the end of the year, and should there be no trade agreement between the EU and the UK, this would have consequences. From January 1st, chaos, tariffs and major trade barriers will threaten. In this case, the EU Commission wants to prevent the worst, a collapse in commercial and passenger traffic between both sides of the English Channel. The authorities had already presented a plan with emergency laws last Thursday. This affects 4 areas. And I talked about this before, but I can talk about this a little bit more detailed today. Secure flight connections is the first. In the absence of a trade agreement and emergency laws, air traffic between the EU and the UK would have to be suspended from January 1st. The EU Commission absolutely wants to prevent this with a special regulation. What do they suggest? A transition period of 6 months. If it were up to the EU Commission, practically nothing should change in air traffic between Great Britain and the EU for 6 months. British planes are allowed to fly over EU territory without restrictions. Stopovers are also allowed. All scheduled and non-scheduled flights and passenger and cargo traffic may be continued. The prerequisite for this is equal rights for everyone. The special regulation must be fulfilled by both sides, so Great Britain would have to guarantee the EU equal rights in air traffic in return. Flight safety should also benefit. The testing of aircraft is also affected by hard Brexit. In the EU, aircraft are tested and certified by the European Union Aviation Safety Agency, the EASA. With Brexit, British companies would lose their certificates. And what would be the result? A number of aircraft would have to remain on the ground and be re-examined. This applies not only to British airlines but also to EU aircraft that have been fitted out by British companies. And what would be the solution? For the time being, previous certificates remain valid until there are new regulations. The measure only applies to aircraft registered in the EU. Then there's the point of uninterrupted passenger transport. Whether with your own car, on the train, through the Channel Tunnel or by bus, from January cross-border passenger traffic would no longer be regulated. Theoretically, trains should then no longer pass. Trucks jammed at France's borders on Friday and uncertainty grew. What is the EU Commission proposal? Keep the bus connections. All bus connections are to be maintained for up to 6 months, even if there are no cross-border contracts. This also applies to cross-border regular services to Ireland. And the next point is uninterrupted train connections via the English Channel. Train operations through the Channel Tunnel would have to be suspended from January 1st. And what's the reason for that? The currently controlling authority would no longer meet EU regulations. What's the solution for that? An extension of the license for up to 9 months. In the meantime, the responsible French National Security Authority is to develop new concepts. And another point is arrange freight transport later. Many UK and European companies are concerned about future border traffic between the UK and the EU. And the central topic is licenses and customs duties. And the suggestion of the Commission is a transition period of 6 months for land freight traffic between Great Britain and the continent is also to be organized initially for 6 months with the help of an interim arrangement. This includes a postponement of new regulations and licensing for freight forwarders. The customs issue is still unresolved as well. But what's the prerequisite for this one? Equal rights for all as well. That means the UK must also give EU freight forwarders a respite. And then there's I hear the Brexiteers coming up already, making fishing more sustainable. The European Authority is calling for special regulations in the fisheries sector by the end of next year. To this end, it has proposed a transitional agreement that extends the current legal framework until a fisheries agreement is concluded. The controversial fisheries agreement is there again. The European Union and the UK will not agree on this important industry. And That's why there now is an EU proposal. UK ships are approved to enter EU waters if they meet the established EU sustainability criteria. Depending on the stocks, criteria for fishing are adopted. In the discussions of the past few weeks, this point was a central issue. It is therefore questionable whether the British government will accept the provisional solution. A spokesman for Johnson stressed that last week that Britain wanted to regain full control of British waters from January 1st. But why only these 4 areas at all? According to the EU Commission, the selected areas are disproportionately affected and are also unable to take their own mitigating measures. The entire emergency regulation of the EU Commission, which Great Britain has not yet approved, can be found on the EU's Commission's websites. And if you want to stay informed, please subscribe to my channel, visit my other 2 channels. I'll see you in my next video. Viel Spaß!